Today we are really off the beaten path as we head towards Rainbow Bend State Forest Campground. On our way down the trail to find the campground, we ran across this big old porcupine eating on some grass along the side of the road. So I decided to stop and sneak up on it to get a nice video of him. He's just chewing away on the milkweed. There were actually some monarch butterflies and caterpillars also enjoying the milkweed, and he finally realized that I was there only a few feet away from him, so he gives that typical porcupine rear end display as he waddles back off into the brush in the woods. So we are going to leave him alone, and we will hop back into the vehicle and continue on our hunt for this campground. Fortunately, there was a decent sign indicating the way we had to go farther down a 2-track, and eventually we came to your typical state forest campground sign, but we still had a ways to go to actually get to the campground. On approach to the campground, there is a random sign letting you know that your dogs must be on a leash, which is the first time I've seen one of those signs in a campground in a long time. Here we have the typical registration board. Nothing fancy or new here. It is $20 a night, as is expected in most of the state forest campgrounds. And as we head up the road farther into the campground, we see some of the campsites here. They're decent sized and spaced campsites. The DNR website says there are only 7 campsites here, however there were more than that, plus there are campsites down along the river for the paddlers. Here's another example of one of the campsites, nice and large, plenty big enough to camp with several tents or a trailer. Nice fire rings. Picnic tables haven't been painted recently and could definitely use a fresh coat or two of paint. And the bugs at this campground were a little worse than what we're used to as far as biting flies go. The outhouses were actually fairly clean, nice new chimneys on them, or smokestacks I should say, and the particle board looked like it had recently been replaced or added in this outhouse. Now on to the pump, which didn't take long at all to get water to come out of it. There was a sign there letting us know that it is not sanitized on a regular basis, but that's not a huge concern out here in the middle of the woods. Some of these campsites are directly under power lines, so depending on how you feel about that, that could be an issue for some people. We're going to continue looping around here as we head down a trail that takes us down to the river. And here is the Asapo River main branch, flowing very nice, very cold water, as you would expect for a trout stream. You have a picnic table down by the water, and as you pan over, you have the stairway that goes up, and up the stairway you have the sign indicating you're at Rainbow Bend Campground for the paddlers. There is a restroom available specifically for the paddlers, some boating information that is not updated on a regular basis, and there are the boards to put your kayak or canoe on for the night. There are several picnic tables and fire pits down here along the river campsites, and way in the background over here there is either a cabin or a house. It looks like a nice log cabin though. There are another set of restrooms, and those are in the very back of the campground, where there are also some additional campsites hidden back this way. These are handicap restrooms and also in fairly decent shape. There's a second one over here. Open it up and it's in the same situation, really good shape. And the smell is nicely under control. As we walk away, we go past campsite number 10 here. And some of these campsites have a little bit different style fire ring. Some of them have the cement style fire ring, and some of them are just a metal fire ring like this one is. As we head back into the group site from the other direction that's down by the water here, we walk in and there is another water pump for the group site and a separate registration board. We kind of did a big circle here and came full circle back to this area. Gotta test out the hand pump, which works, and the water looks nice and clear. And then we head over to the registration board, where the group sites are only $15 a night compared to the $20 a night for the regular sites up above. There's your typical registration and campground information.